Hello, my name is Adriana Bennett, and this is my book summary of I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I have some notes with me, so bear with me as we read through this lengthy book. This is a coming of age story about a girl named Marguerite Johnson and her brother Bailey, and their life starts for them when their birth parents put them on that train car to live with his mother in Stamps, Arkansas. These were a 3 and 4 year old little boy and girl who had no idea of why their mom and dad left them and sent them to a strange, unknown place. In the 1930s, during the Dust Bowl and racism and oppression in the South, her parents were divorced when they were 3, and her and Bailey began their life around then. As a young girl, Maya adored her brother Bailey. They were the best of friends. And Bailey, she says Bailey was everything she was not. He was beautiful. She was ugly. He was skinny. She was fat. He just was everything she wishes she could be, but she just was not, in her mind anyway. Maya was so smart, and she could read and she could write and she could just write the most beautiful poetry. And one funny part was she said she thought that her birth parents were white and she was born a white girl, and that her hair was silky and long and luxurious and her skin was fair, but her parents had died and then God cursed her and made her black. And Maya was the opposite of those things. She just did not know it. Oh goodness. In the deep south of Stamps, Arkansas, facing racism and dealing with the lynch mobs, though that's a scary time. And there was a part where Bailey was out very late. He went on a walk with a girl. He claimed he went to a movie, but he made it back really late, and he saw something he didn't need to see, and it scared him. And then Mama and Marguerite went to go look for him one night, and they met him on the road, and he just could not believe what he had saw. He said he had saw Mama in a movie, and it was a lady named Kay Francis who looked exactly like their mother, and he just was so brokenhearted. So later on, couple weeks later, to save money, they went to see that movie, and Maya could not believe her eyes that that lady looked like their mom. And so, during the years of that, she spends the majority of her time at the store with her mom, with Mama and Uncle Willie and Bailey at the store. And that store was a big part of the town, and everyone went there to trade, get goods, flour, and Mama was she was just a real jewel of the town. One day, their father, Big Bailey, came out of nowhere and just surprised them with a visit that they were not expecting and they really didn't want. And he decides that he's going to take them with him. And instead of going to California, they ended up in St. Louis with Miss Vivian and her family. And that's another part of the story where we get into where the plot thickens. Vivian lives a wild life, and she works at a gambling parlor, and she's got this live-in boyfriend named Mr. Freeman, who molests Maya and then later on rapes her, and then back to Stamps they go because Vivian just could not live with the guilt and the shame of that. Bailey is brokenhearted because he loved his mom and he liked St. Louis, but he knew Maya just could not live there. So back to Stamps. And after returning to Stamps, Maya takes a job working for this lady, Miss Cullens, who gets her name wrong just because it's just simply too long. And one day she has a friend over and she said, "Why don't you just rename her something different? Something like Mary, that's better and it sounds nice." And Maya just was not, she could not deal with that because her name is Marguerite Johnson, not Mary. So she figured out a way to get fired. She breaks a dish and is gone. Then when Maya's 13, they go and live with Miss Vivian again to try it again. She marries this man named Daddy Sack Clydell, and he's actually kind of a positive guy. But then one summer when Maya goes and visits her dad for a summer, he's got a new wife named Dolores. Dolores just does not like Maya. Dolores actually stabbed Maya. So Maya runs away and lives with this group of homeless teenagers. And then she becomes the first streetcar driver at 15. She gets pregnant at 16. and she hides it from her mom and dad, her stepmom, her mom and her stepdad. And she graduates at her 8th month, and she feels confident and hopeful about being a mother to her son. I think she wants to right the wrongs of things that happened to her as a child and to make sure she doesn't do that as a mom. Thank you for listening to me talk, and that was my summary of I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou.